Okay. Doug Pendler lived all his life in the Florida Keys. He is on his deathbed and knows that the end is near. His nurse, his wife, his daughter, and 2 sons were with him. He asked for 2 witnesses to be present and a camcorder to be placed to record his last wishes. And when all is ready, he begins to speak. My son, Bernie, I want you to take the ocean reef houses. My daughter, Sybil, you take the apartments between mile markers 100 and 200. My son, Jamie, I want you to take the offices over on Marathon Government Center. And Sarah, my dear wife, please take all the residential buildings on the bayside of the Backwater Sound. The nurse and the witness were blown away as they didn't realize the extent of the extensive holdings. And as Doug slips away, the nurse says, Mrs. Pender, your husband must have been a hard-working man to have accumulated all this property. His wife replies, no, the cheapskate just had a paper route. That was so-so. Let's, the tip of the day is kind of fun. It's called Let's Clean the iPhone Digital Clutter.
Oh.
All right, and there's a bunch of things you can do. The first thing is organize your home screen. So I've got 2 phones up there for right now. And
We don't see them.
you don't see them.
You don't have your screen up.
Other than that, no problem.
See them now?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I just have to do one other thing. If you look here, see all the icons on this phone?
Mm-hmm.
And let me get the right mouse. Right, there's one screen of them. Well, the first thing you could do to cut down on the digital clutter is to combine them. I have over 300 apps and I have all those apps on 3 pages. And I did that by making them shake and then just putting one on top of the other. And there I've put those 2 together. And then I could then they can be renamed. So instead of calling them productivity, I'm going to call them stuff. And tap done.
No.
Yes?
No.
No question? Okay. And so now I have this folder called stuff. And if I go back to the main screen, there's stuff. In order to remove them, you just slide them out of that box. So that's the first thing you can do to cut down on your clutter. If you feel, well, how about if you haven't used this app in a long time, but you don't want to remove it from your device. So let's put it on this one here, and you don't want to remove it from your device. You click the minus sign. Whoops. I picked the wrong thing. It's got to be an app. That was not an app that I was on there.
Oh,
So let me go to my travel app, and I want to hide Allegiant. That's an application I have from Allegiant Airline. I tap the minus sign, and it says remove from the home screen. When you remove it from the home screen, it takes it off the home screen. It remains on your device in the app library.
okay.
Okay, so I do that. And then I can check my app library. Everything's in the app library. Remember, we get the app library by shifting or swiping right to left one more time, then past your last home screen. And if I click here, you'll see Allegiant down here somewhere, I hope. There it is. But all the apps are here. Now, if I had wanted to, I can make them shake. And if I hit the minus sign now, remove from home screen or delete the app. And that would remove it from your device entirely. The second thing you want to do is to get rid of duplicate contacts and clean up your photos. And that's more laborious because you have to go to it. You have to go to the app or the picture and actually delete it. So if I go to my
So-
photo, go ahead,
Of the 300 apps you have on your screen,
right?
how many have you used in the last 30 days?
I'm not going to talk about that. And I put them on here as for people suggested. Like Ann said, I have this, I want to duplicate contacts, and I had it on here. I had put it on a long time ago, but I haven't used it in a while. We're going to talk about that in a minute though, Peter. If you tap on photos, and I go to my recents, and I select, let's say, 1, 2, 3 photos, then I can hit the trash can quickly here, right? And I delete those 3 photos. And by the way, if it's an oops, you can scroll down when you're looking at your albums, and it has a list of the recently deleted. And it tells you you have 29 days in which to remove it from or recover it. If you decide to not recover it, it will automatically delete in 29 days.
Wait, how'd you get to that delete folder?
Oh, I went to, good question. I went to my photos. I tapped albums in the bottom, from the bottom list of library for you, albums and search. And then I scroll down in that menu,
Oh, yeah.
clear down, whoops, to where it says utilities, and there is recently deleted.
Thank you.
Mhm.
when I click on recents, Bill, I just get my recent pictures.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to. Recent pictures is all your pictures, Ann.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But how do you get to the list that I'm looking at on your screen?
The recently deleted.
Oh, it says albums, utilities. Yeah, I
No,
click albums.
just click albums, and there
And I
it
get
says recents, but you scroll down. Don't click on recents. You just click down
Oh, thank you.
or swipe down. I'm sorry. Uh-huh.
I clicked on,
And we'll be talking a lot more about that next week.
I clicked on photo and I get something that says adjust and auto at the bottom.
Where are you?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Okay, I hit photos. And I get I got a picture of, well, this is, it says auto at the bottom of it.
You opened a picture?
Well, I think I took a picture of something. Yeah, but it was a paper. It's,
Well, first
I
of
just
all,
want to get to regular photos.
right.
Okay, I go to my home screen and I see where it's got calendar, photos, camera, maps, and I hit the photos.
Uh-huh.
And I think I took a picture of, it was some information that I had. I needed a shot, and it is an actual picture
Hold on,
of something.
Hold on a
it's-
minute. Did you strike this little thing that looks like photos? Did you tap on that?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, I tapped on it.
Yeah, I go back to home screen and I tap on it.
And then where did it go?
Well, it brought something up that I was working on last night. It was a photo
Okay, so,
but it was a photograph of some information. It's all words. It isn't real photograph.
okay. At the top, there's a back arrow.
Oh, at the very top, it says adjust. And then it has some. And at the bottom of the photo, it says auto. And it's got all the, and then at the very bottom, it says cancel. Oh my
Go ahead.
God.
You hit edit.
Wait a minute, wait,
Click
can I
cancel. Click cancel.
cancel? Oh, and it says discard changes and cancel.
Right. You were in the middle of editing your photo.
And it still says auto.
Where
It says,
does,
are you sure you want to discard all changes?
yes,
Okay,
This is where the
discard
use of the
changes.
glass is very helpful.
All right, that's. Okay, wait a minute. All right, I think, all right, so now I've come back and I still got that. And my pictures on my phone, at the bottom, it has one long line of a lot of little pictures.
right. And at the top, is there a back arrow?
A back arrow, yes.
Tap that
Oh, all right, I think I'm fine, okay,
and then tap it again.
wait a minute. Well, it just has the date, I don't have another arrow.
Okay. It just has the date up there.
It just has select. Well, I just say all photos.
See,
Well,
all-
I'm getting into all photos,
Right.
years, months,
does it
days.
say, does it say my albums or albums at the top? If it does not, look at the bottom and it should say my library. Is it my library? No, it says
Yes,
library,
library for you and albums and search.
tap albums. Then you should be looking at something, not the same pictures, but the same text. Recents should be the top left.
Mhm.
got it. All right, recents. I've got the recents.
Okay, and then you can scroll down.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry it takes so much time.
No,
If you've done that and you look at your albums and you have a space that has two squares, one on top of the other, but it's zeros in it, does that mean that, and then there's a words underneath it, does that mean that's where there was a photo of that idea and you deleted it?
I'm not sure where you're looking. You're on albums?
I'm on albums
Mhm.
and I've scrolled across, moved across, and I'm looking at in fact, we got two of them. Both of them are exactly alike. One says, well, they both say DJ, which is my cat, but they have inside, they have two squares that are not one on top of the other, but a way to show you that they have two squares and a zero after it. Does that mean that those photos that were there were deleted?
That's correct.
Thank you. Because I don't remember.
Now, we're going to
deleting.
spend more time there next week on photos and working with photos.
Okay.
We're just talking about cleaning house.
Ah. Well, in other words, then I cleaned something and didn't realize it.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Cleaning your browser. If you go to, if you use Safari and you go to settings, and then you go to Safari, and you scroll down in Safari, you'll come to a place where it says clear history and website data.
That went to the wrong Safari.
All right, say that one more time. Go to Safari.
Go to settings. And then within the settings menu, go to Safari.
Thank you.
And then do what?
And then you scroll down to where it says clear history and website data.
Ah,
Okay. If you haven't done that before, you probably want to do it.
Go
And
to
Bill,
Yes, sir.
another thing comes up at the bottom, it says close tabs or keep tabs.
It's up to
Do you
you.
just-
I close my tabs because many times we end up with a few hundred tabs and we didn't even know it.
Wait a minute.
before you go beyond that cleared history and website data, do you just tap it or do you slide it or what?
Just tap it.
Wait a minute. I
Okay.
want to.
Why is this a good idea?
Say again, please.
Why is this a good idea
We're house cleaning.
to clear the history and data? It's a good idea.
Wait, why is?
For me, it is. You don't have to.
And then it says close tabs or keep tabs. So which do you do?
I close my tabs. Unless you understand what tabs are, especially close the tabs.
Okay, you hit close tabs when you get to it. Or it says after a week.
Does that mean you've deleted everything from your Safari that you haven't used in recent days?
When you use Safari, you can end up with multiple locations you're talking to at the same time.
Mhm.
That's called tabs.
I'm not sure I understand.
So if I say clear history and website data, I say clear history and data, right? And bingo. And then it says close tabs or keep tabs. It's up to you. If you understand what tabs are and you're using them for your purposes, fine. If you don't, then I recommend you close them.
You
So
know,
hit clear history and tabs.
Right.
why do you have turned off block all cookies? Why do I have it turned on? Maybe is the better question.
You have it turned on and I have it turned off.
Correct, I have it turned on for some reason.
Right.
Hmm.
Cookies are a way in which people who you go to on the internet, they use that space. They create a cookie on your phone about what you did or what you're doing on their website data. So the next time you log on to them, the information is there. I don't mind them keeping the information, but I do mind them using my phone to do it. So I have it turned on most of the time. The problem with that is if you go to a website, it says you need to you need to allow cookies in order for this website to work properly. So I recommend you turn it on, and I just haven't turned it back on again. You turn it on until you go to a website that says you need to turn on your cookies. And then you go here, that's in Settings, Safari, block all cookies and turn it off. I'm going to turn it back on. Okay.
So you usually
So
have,
if you have it on, be sure you know where this is so that you can turn it off if you happen to be wanting to do banking, or you go to,
I'm not sure I understand.
or you go to a website that you really want to work with, and it says you need to turn on cookies to take advantage of it. So the reason I'm mentioning it to you is you need to know where it is, especially if you have it on and the website requires it.
Now, does that, when you say turn it, if you want to do banking, turn it off or on?
No, don't do anything unless the banking says they want to get it. All right,
If you want to do banking, turn it on if they ask for it.
that's correct. Any website.
Bill, I have a button that says prevent cross-site tracking.
Okay,
Should that be on or off?
that should be on.
On. And then there's another one, hide IP address from trackers.
That should be on as well.
Okay.
That's in Safari.
Yes,
This is all still Safari.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why is my prevent crossing site tracking grayed out?
It means you've turned it off.
No, it shows it on.
I'm not sure, Ann.
Mm. Well, I know that when I hit the clear history and website data that was blue or on, when I clicked it, it became gray.
Ann has the same situation I do. Prevent cross-site tracking is on, but it's grayed out. I can't change it.
Oh,
And there's probably another setting somewhere that
Oh.
supersedes it.
I see it. Okay.
It's probably the block cookies, because if you're blocking everything, then they can't do cross-track.
Let's see if that's true. Let's see if that's true.
Well, I have block all cookies off, and yet my prevent cross-site tracking is on.
That's right. Okay. Nope. If I block all cookie, I turn it off. Now, prevent cross-site tracking is green. I could change it. Okay.
So they are related.
They seem to be. There's an important one for this house cleaning thing that we need to cover. And we go to settings and passwords.
Oh, how funny.
Okay, so now I went to settings and passwords. And you see where it says security recommendations?
Mm-hmm.
If you
No,
tap
because I'm
it,
still looking for passwords. How far down is it? Oh, I see it.
Right at the top.
Wait a minute, where are we going? Wait a minute, setting.
by the way, just a by the way, here's all your passwords. You can't see them on mine. But if you tap here, is the password for that particular site that you logged on to. So it's remembering them for you. And for you to get into it, you have to make sure they check to make sure you are who you say you are. They'll want a password or fingerprint or facial ID or something.
When you have a red circle with an exclamation point in it on security recommendations, what does that mean?
I'm going to cover that right now. See, mine says security recommendations. I'm going to tap it. And it says high priority for google.com. This email address, which nobody knows, I just created it last week. Right? It says change password on website. This password is easy to guess. And then it lists a whole bunch more that it wants me to do that with. Okay, so when you're using the same password or a very simple password, this is a warning for you. All part of your house cleaning. Now, don't do it now, but and if you change them, be sure you write them down. Two more updates. Be sure you're up to date. And that one you go to settings. General and software update. And yours should say 15.6.
Yes, it does.
I'll be darned. And the last part of the makeover is change.
Wait till, are we all there? Or is it just me?
We went to settings. We went to settings.
Where,
We went to settings and then general.
software update, and what's this supposed to say?
15.6.
Thank you, okay.
Okay. And automatic updates turned on.
Just did it recently.
Automatic.
Just
Wait a minute.
did it this week, in fact.
Yep.
Wait a
Well,
minute, say that again. I'm at settings.
settings, general,
Wait a minute, then I hit general.
and software update.
Holy, that's so much smarter.
Wait a minute, I should say
Well, it depends if you're.
software update. I got it.
Oh,
check
good.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And the last thing,
It says install now, but I just leave.
don't do it now.
Okay,
Does yours say automatic update?
I hit automatic update, but it says iOS 15.6, Apple done. It says learn more and install now.
I'm sorry, does it say automatic updates at the top?
Yes,
And is that on?
it says on.
And
It says on, yes.
If you
the
tap
lower of the screen, it should say what's up. what
if
the
you
current-
tap the arrow, there are two things. You can download automatically and you can install automatically. Just make sure they're both on.
Okay, they're on.
Good.
Thank you.
Don't worry, just plug it in at night. Don't turn it off.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I don't ever turn mine.
Last but not least, we go down to wallpaper. It's time to update your wallpaper. That's the background. This phone over here has this weird background. So let me go change it. I go to settings. And I go down, I scroll down to where it says wallpaper. Where is wallpaper? Right here, right?
Where?
Wallpaper in settings. It's right
Got it.
below accessibility, below general. In that same group.
Ah, oh. Ah,
Oh,
wallpaper.
oh.
There you go.
I better not show you the one on the right-hand phone on there. Yeah, there you go. The right-hand phone, don't pay any attention to that one because that's my beta phone. It has a new version of the operating system you can't get yet.
Oh, but you have two iPhones?
I do,
Oh,
I do.
Both with the same number?
The one doesn't have a number. The one doesn't have a card.
Oh,
I have it so that I can do things like I want to do a little later. Choose the new wallpaper is what you would click here at the top. And then you would go and select maybe from your recent photos. What do I have in there? I have my grandson's picture, right? Or I have this interesting background there. If I click here and I go down and I select a picture, let me select something different. Let me select this one. Okay. So I selected a picture and then I click set. Then I choose whether I want it to be my lock screen, my home screen, or both. I'm going to make it my home screen. Okay, and now when I go back to home, it's the flowers in the background there.
ah,
Okay.
Bill, what does RAW stand for under these wallpapers? They got selfies, screenshots, RAW.
I got to go look at it.
It's one of those choices. RAW. Down on down.
You must have a folder called RAW.
No, you just went past it.
I did.
I thought,
mm-mm.
maybe not. RAW.
I don't have a folder
Oh,
called RAW.
so it's just a folder that I created, huh? Okay, thank you.
What's RAW stand for?
Yeah, I don't know. A mystery. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't recommend you have a live photo. I'll do that. I'll make a live photo and we'll see what it looks like. We'll choose this one. And I'm going to set it as my background, my home screen. Okay, and we'll see what it looks like. I don't see what's live about it, but
Either.
okay.
The only thing is that when you go back to the other way, one more.
No, the one more is my app library.
Yes, but there's no background on it.
Correct. That's the way App Library shows up.
Okay.
Is it supposed to move? Okay.
If you tapped on it, Bill,
Say again.
if you tap this on the screen,
I'm tapping, nothing's happening. And when you tap, does something happen?
oh, I just thrown it out, that's all.
As a possibility?
I think you have to press and hold.
Trying to make it live.
Okay.
Bill, question.
Go
How
ahead.
come you have different pictures there than I do?
How come what?
You have different pictures for your wallpaper than I do. That Apple, Apple put on your phone, different pictures.
They do? I mean,
Yeah, I have different ones.
you do? Well, that's
Yeah.
cool. So if I
Yeah.
go to wallpaper
They're not as interesting as yours.
and I go here, I have the 3 categories, dynamic, stills, and live. You have additional or different?
Oh, it's just the live ones are different.
Oh, it may be the style phone we have.
Excuse me?
It may be the style of phone that we have.
But you can also scroll through those to get something different because I have a different dynamic than what you had. And
Well, I have all these.
yeah, you have to open them up.
I have a 13 Pro.
And I have a 12.
Oh, maybe that's why they change them every year. And the first 2 are the same. It's just the live ones are different.
And it's a different look than that.
Excuse me?
What I've got, but I like it. It's grass.
Well, what does live mean? Should be live.
I think it's dark and light mode. So whenever the sun goes down on mine, it will turn to dark. It will change.
Oh,
Press on the screen to see this wallpaper animation. That's what it's supposed to do.
Wow,
One of us is impressed.
I get a nice desert scene.
I think it'd be rather annoying for it to keep.
But you can't press and hold the screen to get it now
Mm,
because it starts doing that.
yeah.
Okay. So much for that. The point I'd like to make there is not everything works the way it should.
That's one of those times when I think they just wanted to keep somebody employed. So they said, come up with something new.
Yes.
Whether it works or not, doesn't matter. Just put it on the screen.
All right. Today we're going to talk about camera. All right. Your phone is much more than just a point and shoot camera, although that's the way most of us use it. Okay. So if I tap camera, and I've set up on one of my figurines here.
Where's camera?
And then I just hit the little white button there if I want to take a picture.
Mhm.
And it took a picture. And the picture shows up as a thumbnail in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, and you can click on that, and it shows you the actual picture. And then you can press the little arrow, and it takes you back.
What little arrow?
Wait a minute, I can't.
Oh,
Down here, if you clicked here, there's a little arrow, or you don't see it. That's why I brought the other phone.
it's not
Wait a
on.
minute.
Okay,
There's no arrow on the screen. On
I
our
understand. I understand. And
Okay.
that's why I brought this phone.
Okay.
That's actually what my screen looks like. what you see on your screen is this.
Yes.
This is what I'm looking at. So I tap this little arrow here at the top. Okay. So now they're the same. That's going to happen a lot during the presentation, so please.
No, we're not the same.
They're the same now.
There's no, on the picture that I have on mine, without touching it, having just gotten what you showed us to get, it has just the picture. It does not have the words video and photo and portrait underneath it or anything on top.
Hit the back arrow at the top.
There's no back arrow to hit.
Yeah, click the picture. Click the picture.
Tap the picture.
Okay. I got the picture and I changed.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. So you have that. Just tap the picture to get back to the.
Okay. Well, no, you weren't saying that.
I know I wasn't.
Sorry about that.
It's
You
okay.
have a live photo on. Do you want that on?
No, but I'll get to that. Nobody, I haven't told anybody what live photo is yet.
Wait a minute.
Mine's not on.
I don't.
Don't get confused here. No, just stick with me.
You confused.
Take a picture. You've hit the button.
We did.
All right. A couple of things you can do without changing at all is you can change what object you're focused on in the picture. And let me do this. Let me try this. So am I focused on the bird in the front or the bird in the back?
Bird in the back.
No, I'm actually, I don't know. If I tap the screen, it will change to focus on whatever I tap on. So watch the little dot on the screen here. I'm going to tap on the bird in the back. And now I'm focused on that bird. If I tap here, now I'm focused on that one. The one in the back is less clear.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. So that's the way you change the depth of field or the field you're focused on. The way in which you change the lighting is you just you get the little box, and then you put your finger like right here and you pull on and up to change the lighting. I usually tell this story when I get here. My family and I were at Disney. And when you go into Disney, they have the picture of the little garden there and the castle in the background, and actually a little place you can go and stand and get your picture. You can take your picture. And so I saw this couple going by and I said, could you take our picture? And I gave him my camera. And the first thing he did was he pulled it up and he touched the screen and then he adjusted the lighting. And I found the right person to do this. Okay, because he touched the screen, and I'll do it again. I'm going to touch the screen on the bird in the back. Then I'm going to change the lighting. And then hit the button. All right, did that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
So do that. It works really well. I was at Van Wezel, and a couple came up to me and said, would you take our picture? And it was at sunset. It was a beautiful sunset, but they stood with the sun on their back. And so their faces were dark, right? And so I just tapped their faces and then I adjusted the lighting and I got their face to come into view. Okay.
Bill,
Mm-hmm.
across the top of my screen, I have a little round yellow circle.
I'm going to
And
get
I don't
there.
know what that is.
I'm going to get there.
Oh, okay.
We're-
right.
We're doing a complete thorough examination of
All those buttons.
right here. Mine has a 0.5 and a 2. I have 3 different lenses on this phone. You may not. You may have 2. Therefore, you have 2 little icons here. Watch what happens when I push 2.
Wow.
Right? Now that's called optical zooming. I'm changing the lens. I have 3 different lenses on my device.
If you only have one, you don't have anything listed there, right?
That's correct. But you can zoom in. If you pinch your fingers and then pull them apart on the screen, you can do this. You see how the number changed to 10 as I was zooming in?
Yeah.
You would get a similar kind of thing. That's called a digital zoom. Now you're saying, well, why don't you just use digital zoom? I don't need all those cameras, Bill. Digital zoom reduces the number of pixels in the picture. So as I zoom in on that flower, whoops, as I zoom in on that flower, and I get up to about 10, it starts getting fuzzy. And that's because I'm reducing the number of pixels in the picture. So that's what a digital zoom does.
Yeah, I seem to be way behind you. I taken a picture.
Oh no, we're not, I haven't taken this picture. I'm back at the camera.
Oh, so don't take a picture.
Not yet, anyway.
I'm back and looking at the camera.
Okay, that helps.
Makes sense now, right?
But start again. You're
Okay.
back. Yeah.
And you can touch the screen and then adjust the lighting. Haven't taken the picture yet. And you can, if you don't have those numbers at the bottom, you can pinch the screen or tap those numbers to change the lens.
The only numbers I have at the bottom say 4.
Say what?
The only numbers at the bottom are 4:3. But I only have one lens.
4.3
You have 4:3.
colon.
The 2 little dots up one on top of the other.
It sounds like the aspect ratio.
Mine says 4.3.
Well,
Are
maybe
you-
that's what it's supposed to say, but it says 4:3. Whatever.
What not? But you're pinching the phone to change that?
No, I'm not doing anything. And it doesn't change when I try to change the size.
Oh,
Nothing happens. It's
are you
just
on
there.
photo?
Yep,
Says photo, right?
yep,
In yellow.
no. Well, wait a minute. Oh. It just has the lightning crossed. I don't have anything written on the bottom.
Good. There shouldn't be anything on the bottom.
I just have some, well, I do have some things written there. I have like the lightning strike cross through, the same thing on the
Looks
top.
like mine now, right? Looks like mine.
Yes, more or less, yes,
Tap see the little arrow at the top of the screen?
yes.
Tap that.
Ah, now I have photo.
Okay. So this is how you take photos, right? If you wanted to take a video, for example, you would tap video. Right, and it shifts over. The icon changes for where you tap. If you want to do slow-mo, you would tap that. If you want to do time lapse, you would type that. And we'll cover all those in a minute. If I wanted to go back now, I just tap the particular name. Okay. And we're going to stay on photo though for a while. So if you were playing around with that, change it back to photo. At the bottom, there's the circular arrows. If you tap it, it shifts from the back camera to the front camera.
Rather have the front.
Okay. All right. Now, some of you have this arrow at the top, and some of you do not. I think all of you have this lightning bolt over here. Yes?
Yes, but mine's
Yes.
crossed out.
All right. If you tap it, some of you, it will cross it out. Some
Yeah.
of you, it will bring up a menu. It says auto, on, or off.
Mhm.
Auto, of course, would be auto, and that's the way the newer phones only have the auto mode. Okay,
There's no menu.
well, if you tap the lightning bolt, does it put a line through it?
I already had a line through it.
If you tap it again, the line will be removed.
Yes.
That's the control you have.
And what is
Others,
it for?
I'll tell you in a minute. Other of us have auto, on, or off, and it's for flash.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to skip the next one on my screen and go over to this one. And it's called live photo. If there's a line through it, it's not taking a live photo. If there is no line through it, it is taking a live photo.
Wait a minute, say that again, please.
If you have the little bullseye and you tap it, it puts a line through it that says live off.
Okay, yes, okay.
Tap it again and live is on. If you're taking a live photo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how live photo works. It's now, by the way, if live photo is on, you don't have a line through there, every time you click the shutter, it gives you a 3-second video. So we would like to have that off most of the time, and I'll go into settings in a minute and show you how to handle that. But let me turn it on and show you what it is. I have my finger on the bird, right? If I click the shutter now, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my finger onto the bird and then click the shutter. And you would think I would only have my finger on the bird. When I click the shutter, I'll pull it off. What it will actually have on it is me putting my finger on the bird before I click the shutter. So watch. And let's see what I've got here. And come on. I didn't get a live photo there. Hold on. Okay, I clicked the shutter when I touched the button, when I touched the bird. And I recorded my sound as well. Everybody get the idea? That's a picture from the video. But if I put my finger on the picture, okay?
Bill,
Yes,
when it had, now it has no line through it, correct?
that means every picture you take will be a live photo.
With no line through it. When it has the line through it, it doesn't do that.
It's turned off. That's correct. Okay. I'm back to camera. Now, what I would like to do is go into settings and show you some of the features we want to have set up in settings, okay? So I'm going back to my home screen and I'm going to settings. And I scroll down to where it says camera. And I tap that. And I tap where it says formats. First thing there is formats, and that's how the picture is being saved when you take a picture. And Apple came out with its own proprietary format called high efficiency. And I choose to use most compatible, so I don't have to worry about conversions. So it's recording the picture in a JPEG versus high efficiency.
So would
Wait a
you
minute.
recommend the most compatible?
That's what I'm recommending, yes.
Wait a minute, help me again. I'm into settings.
Camera,
Wait a minute, where's camera? Okay, camera,
format.
format. Okay. And you want most compatible.
That's what I'd recommend.
All right. Thank you.
When you take a picture,
Excuse me, Bill, I have a question about that. When you do most compatible, does it compromise the resolution of the photograph?
not that you'll recognize. High efficiency, Apple claims it's a little better picture.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. When you take a picture, the picture, it's made up of dots.
Yes. Pixels.
How many dots does the picture have depends on the quality of the camera. They started out with 4 megapixels, that's 4 million dots. Then they went to 8 megapixels, that's 8 million dots. The one I have is a 12 megapixel picture. That's 12 million dots. When you first take it, it's called the raw picture, 12 million dots. And they go through an algorithm and change it to either most compatible or high efficiency. So what's saved on your device, I'm going to mute everyone. And then if you want to speak, please just unmute yourselves. Right? So the raw picture takes 12 million bytes. The most compatible picture takes between 1 and 2 million bytes. So it reduces it significantly. Professional photographers want to keep the other one. And it's saying 25 million. Depends on the picture, of course. But if I turn on RAW, that's what it will do. So I do not turn that on. Uses a lot of space on your device. And you only do that if you're going to do significant editing of your picture.
The phone I have does not even offer it.
That's possible. Okay, I have the different formats for record video. If you want to change that, you can. That's the way it came, and I prefer the 1080. In slow motion, 720. I do want to record sound in stereo mode if your phone's capable of doing that. Here's one I need everybody to pay attention to: preserve settings, and go ahead and tap that arrow. Okay. The only one to have on is live photo. And it's a little confusing here, but you want live photo so that it will stay live photo. It will have live photo off if you have it off to start with.
Question, Bill. So if you have live photo on to start with, it'll leave it on. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
If you want live photo all the time, turn this off and it will always go to live photo whenever you turn on the camera.
Oh, I see. So you should turn it off if you want live photo on all the time. Is that what you're saying?
Yep,
Okay.
that makes sense, doesn't it? Did you get that?
In a convoluted sort of way.
Okay. Scan QR codes, you want that on? Show detected text, if you have that, turn that on. Grid, I recommend that highly. You saw it on my picture when I was taking it. It helps you center and level your phone on what you're taking, picture you're taking. Mirror front camera.
I didn't get that.
Oh,
Could you try again?
yes, you did.
Bill?
Yeah,
Bill, I have a question.
say again, please.
I have a question. Could you explain what show detected text means?
Yeah. When you have a picture, when you're getting ready to take a picture with text in it, it will highlight the text.
Do you mean highlight it with like a yellow highlighter marker?
And I think it puts yellow, how do I say this? It puts yellow borders on it.
Oh, okay.
What is mirror front camera?
Well, that means when it's like looking in a mirror if you have that on. Otherwise, when you raise you're backwards on the mirror.
So.
I don't know why I need that. Why do I need that?
Okay. It's on right now, right? So I bring up my camera and I switch the camera. When I hold this hand up,
Yeah,
okay, that's my right hand.
yeah.
I hope this works. Camera, I'm going to turn off mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. And now if I go to camera, it's still doing it the same way. I think if I take a picture now, it will be flipped. In other words, it'll look like I'm raising this hand.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Well,
Thank
the logo on your shirt reads backwards.
Right now,
Yes, right now.
it wouldn't well, let me take the picture. Let's see what happens. I'll take that picture. Yep. And if you look at that picture now, if you look at that picture, see, it's reversed.
Uh-huh.
Well, is the logo on your left side or your right side?
Okay, when I took the picture, it was over here.
On your right side?
This is my left side,
Well,
and the text is backwards. If I took the picture, it's over there. Now, if I turn on mirror effect here, and I go back to the camera and take the picture has it backwards as well.
well, then you wouldn't want the mirror effect on
Right, it seems funny.
because it's backwards now. If you have the mirror effect off,
There you
it's
go.
showing the correct way.
You can tell how many faces, selfies I take. So you got a point. So I'm going to go and change that. I'm going to turn, I don't want a mirror. Okay. All right.
A question,
Wait, Bill,
view outside the frame.
Anybody know what that is?
Yeah, well, I know what happens. I mean, you see more of, when you take the picture, you see the frame, but you see what's outside of the frame, like it says. Can you use any of that or not?
So if I take this picture, it's going to be more. Yeah, I don't usually cover that particular aspect because I'm not sure how it functions.
I think you can use something that, some of what's outside of the frame. I haven't used it that often, but if I remember correctly, you can.
What's it do? What does it do? If it's on, it shows me more. What do they mean by frame? Yay, nay?
that's the edge of the picture, I think.
Well, yeah, the frame of the picture.
So
Whatever the dimensions of your picture are. And it shows you what's outside, a certain amount of real estate that's outside of the frame of the picture. And I think when you're cropping, you can move it a bit.
Where is what she's talking about?
say again, please.
Where is what she is talking about?
Oh,
I thought camera settings are-
it's in settings, camera.
And what is it called?
It's called view outside frame, the frame.
Must have a lesser phone because mine doesn't say it.
It's under mirror front camera.
It's a grid.
Okay, let me keep going here.
But Bill, may I ask a question?
Okay,
Why did you turn off the mirroring? Because that seems to be making everything correct.
no, that, I think, let me, I have it off now, right?
Yes.
If I have it off, it does this.
If you have it off, it was backwards.
No, I have it off and it's, when I'm taking the picture, it's always when I'm looking at it and it's backwards. When I actually take the picture and mirroring is off, it corrects it.
So should we turn it off?
Well, but you'll notice that the room is different. The door's on my right on here. When I take the picture, now the door is on my left.
Well, which way really is it?
Well, the
That's
door
the
is on,
point. That's the point. It's really on my right.
well, but it is on your right.
That's correct now then.
Yeah.
No, it's on my left right now. In the
Well,
picture, I'm facing it and it's on my left.
you're facing.
Oh,
the-
sorry. Yeah, it's on my right. You're right.
Would you try again?
Wait a minute.
You're right. You're right.
That is correct.
Glad to
So
hear it.
should it be on or off?
Should it be is not the question. What do you want it to be?
I want it to be correct.
If you're going to be reading your shirt, Bill, it's got to be. it's
I
got-
understand. I understand.
You
This is my right. This is my left shoulder.
But we see it just reversed. When we're looking at you, you're
Agreed.
waving your left hand.
Agreed.
That's your left.
But if I'm looking at the picture, right, I'm grabbing my right ear.
Oh,
That's because
that's
you
your
have.
left ear.
That's because the mirroring is on. Is on.
Oh,
That's your left side.
That's my right ear.
that's
No,
your
it's
left ear.
not.
That's because you have the mirroring on.
No,
Oh,
it's not.
gosh.
All
If you
right.
put your hand out, you'll see the L for left.
This is my wedding ring on my right hand. On my left hand, I mean.
Oh,
But you're seeing it as right. I understand. But when I take the picture, it corrected everything. All right. Boy, these are confusing.
Yeah, can you go back into settings again? Good.
That's where I am.
I
Okay.
got the answer to the frame, photo outside the frame.
Oh, you did? What is it?
It says it shows stuff outside the frame that will show you what you can do with the wide angle. And if you don't have the wide angle, then that's not going to be available. And the 13s have the wide angle. 13 Pro has a wide angle.
Gotcha. So she's saying, if I have it on, what do I have to switch now? And I go to my wide angle, this one, it shows me, and they're right. That's the picture. I still don't see the difference, but okay. Let's not get hung up on that one.
Yeah. So can we go back into settings again for a second?
That's where I am, dear.
Okay. So,
What was the question? Is there a question, or you just want to see what the settings were?
yeah, you have, I'm trying to see if I have the same things you have.
Okay. Scene detection says I'm going to improve the picture if I see it's a scene. Prioritize faster shooting, intelligent and adapt image quality when rapidly pressing the shutter.
You should-
And
No, I don't have a scene detection.
I'll be darned. And lens correction, right? Takes care of the distortion. And there's this picture mode called HDR.
I don't see Carol distortion in your
There's a feature called high dynamic range. Some of you have it as an HDR on in the settings menu.
Yes,
Either HDR on or off. Mine is smart HDR. So they
so is mine. And it's off.
So I have mine on. And what it does is it will take a better picture if it determines it's a portrait, for example, or something that would make a better picture if it goes to HDR. What it does is it takes several pictures. So if you have the best example I can think of, it's a beautiful day out. The sky is blue, clouds are white. The tree in front of you is springtime in Vermont. You know, it's just green as it can get. And you take that picture, and if you focused on the tree would be funny, really green, but the sky would be not quite as sharp, not quite as blue. If you turn on HDR, it takes 3 pictures and combines them, taking a picture of the tree, the sky, and the clouds, and combining them to take the best pictures of all. I did a Google, what is HDR? And it had that exact scenario where it took a picture non-HDR of a tree with a blue sky and the same picture with HDR. Made a significant difference.
Bill, does that use up more of your memory, like live photos does?
Yes. The end picture takes up more space.
Yeah.
All right. So we were on the camera. So everybody back to your home screen and open your cameras. So we already talked about live photo. Make sure there's an arrow through that and take a live photo when you want to. And nobody's going to ask me the question, why would you ever want to take a live photo? Gee, you'd want to
Well,
take.
you've got some action that you're trying to stop.
Right, exactly. You're at a horse race or a running race and getting close to the finish line. If you click the shutter and you have live photo on, and you click the shutter when they cross the finish line, you'll get the 1.5 seconds before they reached the finish line and the 1.5 seconds after they reached the finish line.
And you see the finish line.
Right. You're focused on the finish line and you'll get a video of them running past it.
Hey, Bill.
Now, on your screen, that little up on the top where you have the line through something, that's white. On mine, it's yellow.
Tap it. Make sure there's a line through it. So if you tap it, it should give you a choice, or you can change, it would put a line through it.
When I tapped it and it became white, it has a line through it. I also got the word live off.
That's correct. That's what I get as well.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
On mine, my iPhone, I don't have that second icon there after the flash.
That's okay. I'm not going to talk about that one anyway.
Okay.
That's to adjust the lighting.
What does the difference between live and live off mean? Or have you already told us and I missed it?
Live photo is the 3-second video when you press the button in photo. You don't get a photo, you get a video, a 3-second video.
Basically, you should have it off all the time if you're taking photos.
Yes.
But not if you're.
Unless you want to do some additional work, yes, you do that. I'm not going to get into that. Okay. Now, many of us have that little arrow at the top. Others of us don't have the arrow at the top. So I'm going to touch the arrow. And you see the lightning bolt, the lighting, the live photo, the 4x3. and then you can scroll that particular list to the left. The other thing I want to cover here is that some of us have a little object like this one here. Let me point to it. This one. On the phones that don't have that arrow at the top, you have this. This is a delayed shutter. So you can tap on it.
Oh.
And it says you want a 3-second delay on the shutter or a 10-second delay. And so what I'm going to do is say 3-second delay. I'm going to tap that. And now I'm going to hit the shutter. And I have 3 seconds to change my picture. So that I got that picture instead of the other bird. 10 seconds would allow you to run around. If you have your camera set on a tripod, would allow you to run around and put, get yourself in the picture. And when you do it, I want to show you what it looks like. I just brought up that picture, right? But you see where it says burst on my phone? Right? It says burst. Woo, put this right.
Yep.
It says burst right there, right? Jeez. Okay.
No.
It took 10 pictures of that. Right? And if I tapped edit at the bottom, and we'll talk more about photo editing next time, but if I clicked edit here at the bottom, wait a minute. Let me do that again. If I tap select at the bottom, it shows me all 10 pictures here at the bottom. So if you had people run around, et cetera, it gives you an opportunity to select one of 10 pictures, hopefully with everybody's eyes open. Make sense?
No, not to me.
Okay, let me go back.
So live auto should be on or off?
We're not talking about live photo any longer.
Oh, okay, because I see that on mine. I don't
Make
know, I
sure
have a
it's-
different phone.
Make sure it's off.
Okay. Thank you.
And you can see it on my phone right up here. My older phone is there. Well, let me get the other mouse. My older phone is there. My newer phone is there. Okay. And I actually combined two things. When I just talked to you, it's a 3-second delay. If I tap that 3-second delay, I can change it to 10-second delay. And now if I take a picture, okay, it took the picture in 10 seconds. But it also did something called burst mode. I often call this paparazzi mode. Yeah. Hey, Bill, you there?
Yes.
How do I do a burst mode photo with a, no. How do I do a burst mode photo with a phone without an eye, without a home button?
Let me look.
Thank you.
So, Bill,
Go ahead.
are you saying that it takes multiple pictures when the timer is set to 10 seconds?
Yes, 10 or 3 seconds. Yes.
I don't think that's right. I think if you put the timer off and use timer on and use 10 seconds, it takes one picture 10 seconds after you press the button.
It takes 10 pictures 10 seconds after I push the button. Go ahead and try it.
Bill, on the iPhone 11 and 12, press and immediately drag the shutter button to the left or right if you're in portrait, or up and down if you're in landscape.
Press the what?
When you press the shutter button, you can, it says press and then drag the shutter button left if you're in the portrait mode, and up if you're in the landscape mode.
I'm pressing it and holding it, and it creates a video. I'm just thinking if I have anything else I should be set here.
Yeah, I get the same.
We just
Bill,
talked.
if you take a picture in live mode and you really don't want that, you just want one of the pictures.
Oh, we'll talk about that next.
One.
We'll talk about that next time, how to select that.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Well, Bill?
Yep.
I tried it. It does take 10 pictures. I didn't know that, and I'm surprised.
Which we tried what? I'm sorry, Jim. What did you say?
If the timer is on and you select 10 seconds, it takes 10 pictures.
Right.
I didn't think it did that, but it does. I just tried it.
But can you change what you do within the picture? That's not what I want to ask. Like you changed the bird and it took both pictures, one with and without.
No, it didn't. No,
Oh,
it gave me, it's a delayed shutter, Leah. In other words, it says I'm gonna click the button in 10 seconds, or the phone will click the button in 10 seconds or 3 seconds.
and then, but if you want to, you have the option to then change the picture before the shutter goes.
Correct. Or I can run around and get in the picture,
Gotcha.
right? That's the idea behind that.
Thank you.
Okay. How many, if you have an iPhone that's an iPhone 10 and you press the shutter button and pull it to the right, it will take a burst mode. So it's an iPhone 12, Bill, that we're looking for.
Yeah, I think I got it. I think what you have to do is like on your picture, when you press the photo button, drag it left. Why, press and drag left.
That works on the iPhone 10. But not on, it starts a video on the iPhone 12.
If I, no, I've got a 12. If I press and it wants me to drag it right, that'll take a video. If I press and drag it left, go left with it.
No.
On the iPhone 13 Pro, there's a setting in the settings that they have a thing for use volume up for burst. You can turn that on in settings.
I know, volume up and what else?
That's all it says, use volume up for burst.
Ah,
And you can turn that on or off.
yes. Okay, volume, that works on the 12 as well. Okay. So just watch the picture for a minute. And I think, well, you just, everybody be quiet and you can hear it. I'm pressing the volume up. And you saw the shutter button. Watch the shutter button. So I just took 25 pictures of my bird here. All right.
I don't know what you do this afternoon.
I delete 25 pictures.
You delete.
You can delete them all at once.
So if we don't want burst and we don't want multiple pictures, the main thing is just don't hold down the button.
Boy, don't hold down buttons.
Because you know when it happens? It happens when you hand your phone to somebody to
Yeah,
take a picture and they hold it down and you end up with 60 pictures. It's so annoying. Thank you.
I understand. And you're right.
I mean, I know better because I can just push it once. Right?
Yeah, just tap it. Tap the shutter when you want to take it.
That's all you want. Just one. Thank you.
Good point. All right. Let's move to just beyond taking a picture. If we go to video, the button changes its format. So I went to the different button and I tap video, and now it's recording a video of my bird. Okay. And when I tap the button again, it shuts off the video. So now I have this video and I'll play it. When I tap the button again, let me start it again. And now it's recording a video of my bird. Okay. And when I tap the button again, all right. Slow motion is just that. I'm gonna tap the button and remove that bird real quick. I've tapped the slow motion and I go boom. And if I play that back, I should have slowed it down. Did I hit it right? Was I on slow motion when I did that?
Yeah.
Didn't look that much slower, did it?
No.
Oh, it didn't.
If I'm on time lapse, you won't even see it. I hit time lapse and I go like that. Right now I play the picture. Oop. Wasn't even there. Slow-mo is supposed to come out looking like so. If I go to my photos and I scroll down here.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah, that is. That's my son breaking a block wall. I think the nicest feature is this one, if you have it. It's called a portrait. Okay, let me move a little closer. And if I put this in the right mode, it's not going to work. What it does is it blackens the background. And it's not doing a special there. That's not too bad.
Somebody saw a focus on the subject.
But let me show you what some of them look like if I'm in portrait mode. And depending on the lighting situation you have, you end up with something like that. And she was actually, there was all kinds of clutter behind my wife there. The same for me. Okay. And this is a picture, that's one not portrait, and that's same picture.
What was that, stage light? That the black
Stage
box?
light color, yes.
Stage light what?
There's one stage light black and white, and one stage light color.
Yeah.
Just straight stage lighting.
Also, if you have portrait, but you don't have a person in it, it will tell you you are not detecting a person.
Yeah, here. That's a picture I took of the bird the last time we did this class.
Camera actually says no person detected.
Does it? Okay.
Mine does anyway.
Well, I haven't tried it without a person present. The next one we want to talk about is Pano.
What is the other one besides stage light?
Oh, there's other contour light, they call it.
Stage light mono.
That's just black and white. Notice how the bird looks white now?
Right.
You just have to play with them to see what they do. When pano comes up, it looks like that. And the only thing you need to know about pano is you push the button and just, you don't need to hold it. You push the button and then you start moving the camera. Moving slowly, but keeping that arrow on the line. And if you go 180 degrees, it will automatically shut off, or you can tap the button and say, that's the end of my pano. And that's the pano shot. I'll turn it sideways. Okay.
What would be the point of the pano versus a video?
If you want to make it's a picture now. And what they've done is they've pasted a bunch of still images together to make the pano.
Okay,
And if you wanted to get a panoramic photograph,
mhm,
hard one, right?
right,
Here's
Okay.
what I want to show you an example that made the point of it. It's pasting together photographs. I'll go to my photos.
oh, wow, okay,
So here's a panorama.
yeah, yeah,
And you'll notice the same guy is on the left and the right of this picture. That's because when I was moving the camera around, when I got it halfway through, I asked him to walk behind me and stand on the other half of the room.
Okay.
That one didn't come out that well. Here's,
okay, I see the point of it, though, especially if you're doing like an ocean shot or, you know,
right,
out, you know, a nature thing,
nature.
okay,
But the photo does not, when you look at the photo as a photo, it's not moving. It doesn't, it just gives you the depth of, or the width of what you took, correct?
It's pasting together. It takes a picture of this much and then this much, and it keeps pasting them together as you move across. So it's creating the photo as you go. And so I had this gentleman walk around behind me and stand over here. So when I got there, he was there again. And I kept moving the camera.
But it's not like you're panning. You
With a
don't take
video.
a.
Yeah, it's not like panning with a video. You're making
Thank
you're making a still image.
Making a still video.
A still image. It's a picture.
Yes, I know.
It's not a video. For example. Here's what I did at Legoland. Here's one I did in a hot air balloon.
Wow.
wow, good.
Was it scary being in a hot air?
Actually not. And I get vertigo, so it wasn't at all scary. It's quite pleasant, in fact.
That's a great picture.
The wall of the the wall of the basket's high enough, so it'd be hard to leap over it. Or fall out of it, let's say it put it that way.
It's just the thought of the flame or whatever it is, the propulsion stopping.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't stop immediately. They stop burning and it still continues to rise.
Oh,
So it's kind of a delayed reaction.
that's encouraging.
That was on my bucket list and I really enjoyed it.
That's great.
All right. Now, you have an assignment for next week. You need to go and start to take pictures in all those different modes, just to see how they work and play with them a little bit. All right? Take a picture of a tree, of somebody else, of a crowd, of a street sign, etc. I want to try something here, see if it works.
And send them all to you.
No, don't send it. One of the features, and I'm showing you, I took a picture of, by the way, I will send you all the how to clean up, along with the video of the class. I'll send you how to clean up an iPhone and get rid of your digital color. It's this particular thing. So let me take a picture of it. And if I go to that picture and I zoom in on some text and I click and hold the text, see what I'm doing? It actually does optical character recognition. So I have selected that text and I can copy it from a photograph. And then I can go to, let's say, notes and paste it. Okay.
Wait, how did you get it to copy?
Again, I went to the camera, took the picture. Then I go to the picture. And I just press and hold. And I get those little popsicle sticks. I shift the one popsicle stick over.
We don't see that. I don't see anything.
Oh, you don't? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Let me put the, get my camera on here. Ooh. All right, so I went to the picture, right? And I say I want to be there. I press and hold there. See how the popsicle stick appears?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then I'll drag that popsicle stick down here. I'll drag the other one to the beginning. And then I click copy.
Okay.
Okay, now it's copied and I can paste it anywhere.
Why doesn't that show on the other screen, on your other iPhone?
It has to do with the application I'm using. It's called Mirror 360. And some features, it doesn't work very well. So I don't get what I'm actually doing. And that's why I have my other phone, this one that's shaking.
At one point, when you first put that other one on, there was a yellow box around what you were going to make a copy of.
Was there? I didn't see that.
Just briefly.
Just briefly? Yes, there it is. Right?
So
Now,
how do you,
if that box is there, notice on my phone in the lower right-hand portion of the screen, and I'll point to it. This,
yeah.
if I tap that, this is the one that will copy that text.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
And there I've picked up that text And now what do I want to do with it? So I didn't even have to go through the balloon feature if I use that little box. And then I could just say, if it was in a different language, I could say translate it. But you get the idea?
Yes.
How do you use the QR code on your phone? We tried to, my daughter and I tried to use it a couple of weeks ago, and it would not take on my phone, but it would on hers.
Do you have QR code capability on yours in settings? In other words, was it set on in settings? If you
I
go
don't
to-
know.
Or if you go to settings and camera, it says scan QR codes there. And make sure that's on.
It is now, and I would have assumed it was then.
I would too. What should happen when you hold it over it is the website it's referring to should show up in your screen when you tap it. And I'll have that for next week. I'll have a QR code. All right. All right, time for the quiz of the week. Everybody ready? Leah, you're pretty good at this, so. Take off my skin and I won't cry, but you will. What am I?
Onion,
An onion. Good. What can go up and come down without moving?
your age,
You're gonna move somewhere there.
The weather.
Oh, no, the temperature, you were close. What do you fill with an empty hand?
A fist.
Gloves. Come on, I'm only hearing a couple of you here. Come on. And Ralph had this one. What goes up and never comes down?
that's my age.
My age, right?
Age.
Oh, we got to get more difficult here, don't we? The more there is, the less you see. What is it?
Darkness.
Darkness. All right, Peter, good job. The more you take, the more you leave behind. Footsteps. Okay, and the last one here. What has only one eye, but he can't even see?
Needle,
A needle. All right. Oh, this one's pretty bad, right? Two cannibals meet each other on the trail and exchanged pleasantries. Finally, cannibal number 2 says, how'd you like the meal? Oh, he says to the other one, I didn't like my meal last night. And the cannibal says, well, how did you prepare it? Well, I roasted it on a spit of ebony wood. The other asked, well, who was it? Well, it was a missionary. I've had many missionaries and they're all fine. How do you know it was a missionary? He had a brown robe and a rope belt. The other cannibal says, I know your problem. You cooked the wrong thing. You had a fryer.
See you next week.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank
Great
you, Bill.
job,
See you
Bill.
next week.
Take care. Leave them laughing.
Thank you,
That's-
Bill.
Have a great week, everybody. Oh, the next week, we're going to be talking about pictures and working with pictures, and many of you had many questions there. Okay? And again, go out and take some pictures and play with your cameras. Okay?
Talking about photos, can you help me understand why my iCloud photos aren't updating? The last one I have is from June the 9th, and all I've taken since are not up on iCloud. They're on my phone, but when I go to iCloud on my computer, they're not there.
Is the iCloud full?
No, I've got plenty. I pay for extra space.
Have you used all the extra space?
No,
Okay, you're sure about that?
yeah,
Okay, have you plugged in your phone and left it alone overnight?
I charge it every night.
Yeah, but is it on?
Well,
Or do you power it off?
no, I don't power it off. Generally, I set my alarm and then plug it in, and it stays like that.
Okay, go to settings. Tap your name. Tap iCloud. It is managed storage. Let's see, photos turned on there.
Yes. And it says I have 200 gigabytes and I've used 86.3.
Okay. See where it says iCloud backup? Is that on?
Yes.
Go there. And what's it say? Last successful backup was?
12:36 a.m.
This morning?
Yes.
Then where are your pictures not showing up?
When I look
Where?
on my computer or when I
Okay.
go to the iCloud.
Okay, if you go to iCloud.com and log in and the pictures are there, your computer hasn't picked them up yet. But they are in the iCloud.
Okay, I'm supposed to go to iCloud.com.
Yep.
To sign in to iCloud.
Yep. You have to put in your Apple ID and password.
I got a authentication.
Okay.
Okay. And I click on photos.
Yep. And you should be able to see your pictures, including the ones you've taken recently.
Yeah, they're there,
Okay,
but why aren't they when I go to my,
okay, for
I- Cloud.
some reason, your computer hasn't gone to the iCloud and retrieved them.
oh. Okay, well, at least they're there because what I do is I take photos, I take screenshots of recipes that I see.
Yep.
And then I
Get them on your computer and create a book out of it.
I copy and paste them into a Word document and save them in a recipes file.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, dear. Have a good week, everybody.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Bill.
Uh-huh.